Good morning. Good morning, Ruth and Susan and Dora. Yeah, it's pretty cold out there today, in the 30s or so. But it stopped. It stopped being windy, so I'm probably still going to try to work today. I just I don't know. I just want to get done. I don't. It feels wrong to put everything away when I still have work to do. So I'm going to keep going. Um, I am getting very close. My problem now is that I need a second pair of hands for some of the things I'm doing. Um, and my husband's working from home, so he's not really that available during the week. Um, and my kids are, well, they're not super helpful, especially not on the ladder, right? I've raised a house full of um, people who are afraid of heights, even small heights. Um, yeah, nobody wants to get on the ladder, and but my husband loves to be on the ladder. In fact, um, before we got the new roof, there were times he had to get up on the roof and um, check things out. And we had there's one flat section of the roof that sometimes needed to be repaired or tarred. And um, there was a metal roof in the back that needed to get sealed up every now and then. So he'd be up there climbing around on the roof, no problem at all. He probably could have been a roofer. I'm somewhere in between, not super comfortable up on the ladder, but I'm there because I have to be there. But yeah, my kids are no help at all. So, so, so I have this short window from when Dave finishes work and it gets dark, and we're going to see if we can just compress it all in there, get it done, um, and if it's not too cold. All of these things. My fail-safe is later in the week. I think it's going to be 50. So if I can't get it done now, I'll get it done then. It's crazy. This is the craziest year ever. I never would have been out. It's really amazing, right? This how your perception changes. Before, man, as soon as it got to be in the 40s or something, winter's here. I'm in the house. We're done. No more outside stuff. Now I'm out all the time. So, what are you going to do? We change how we think about things. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about. I was thinking today about being alone and how, especially this time. Oh, good morning, Deb. Especially this time of year when we're getting towards the holidays and with the virus and everything, I think people are spending more time alone. They may be feeling kind of, you know, alone, right? um, and I think it's something, that we want to work on, this ability to be alone and not feel lonely, right? So being alone isn't the same thing as feeling lonely. Lonely is a feeling that we create, whereas being alone is just a neutral state. You just are, right? There's no one there. It's just you. This feeling of loneliness we create, and largely it's a product of regret maybe, and memories, right? So we think back maybe on other years when we had more people around, or um, things were more exciting and more things were happening, right? Um, so again, we want to be careful about comparing. Um, what's happening now is different from what happened last year, or 2 years ago, or 10 years ago. Um, to compare things is to generally find them lacking. I don't find too many people, and too many times I compare something to time past where it does not seem like that time past was so much better, right? Our hindsight is always so much rosier maybe than the real thing. Um, and that's, just our way of dealing with things. Um, in truth, if you look back at some of those times, maybe where there were more people around or more chaos, um, more activity, right? I think about maybe when my kids were young and how exciting Christmas was then. Everyone was so excited. They could barely sleep. They'd be up all night. We'd be chasing them back into their rooms. And, looking back now, wow, that sure seems like fun and Christmassy. But back then it was like some kind of exquisite torture, right? You had all this stuff to get done. People were coming to your house. Your kids were bouncing off the walls and you just wanted them to go to bed so that you could get your work done. It was crazy. You were sleep deprived, you were, cash strapped, everybody needed something. So we forget those parts when we think about when we start looking so nostalgically, right? So we got to remember there is good and there is bad in everything, at every stage of the game, every step of our life. Um, there is never one without the other. That's just not how it works. There is um, nothing that is 100% bad or 100% good. It's a mix. So find what's good in this time. Um, and what we work on with yoga and our um, yamas and our niyamas, all of this like training, really, I can say we're doing, is meant to make us more comfortable with ourselves, right? More comfortable with that idea of being alone. Because in truth, we are alone. At the very bottom of it all, there is us and ourselves, right? We're not alone, but we aren't. Um, Other people are going to come and go in your life. They just will. That's how it works. What is constant is you and this self. Even you aren't constant, right? You're going to pass away sometime. This self, though, will be living beyond, be going beyond. So that's the relationship you really want to cultivate. It's a relationship that never goes away, that never changes, that is always available to you, even if you have neglected it for years in, uh, you know, pursuit of all of these other things. You've really just not even paid attention to that. It's fine. It's like the friend that you made in high school and you haven't spoken to in 20 years, and then they call you out of the blue and you can talk to them for hours. Um, that is what this is. It's not judgmental. It's not going to take offense that you've ignored it. It is always there for you. So be um, comforted, I guess, by that. Feel that strength and support. And take these times when things are quieter, when life is a little quieter, to really develop that relationship, to make that strong and healthy. Um, Listen to yourself. Listen to what it is guiding you towards. Um, that is one of the beautiful things about being alone, is that there's nobody to tell you, oh, I don't want to do that. Right? You can make your own choices. You can do what makes you happy rather than trying to fit what you want in the larger picture of everyone else. So there's definitely some benefit to that. And as yogis, we are aware of the ins and outs and the ups and downs. We want to take advantage of what we have now, knowing that things will change, right? Other years, there will be more people around. There'll be more things to do, there'll be more chaos. And right now, maybe we're going to experience a little breather, a little chance to focus on this important relationship within. Um, and that's what we are trying to do with yoga, right? We are trying to um, build that relationship, make that very strong, and kind of um, give it the position that it really deserves in your life. Um, People talk about putting yourself first, right? And this is kind of what we mean, right? Being aware of what you need, um, and knowing that it's okay to do that. It's okay to serve yourself, right? Um, it doesn't always have to be about other people, and I think um, that's a message that we really need. I think especially women in particular don't get that message, right? We get the message that everybody else needs to be served first, um, and that if there's any time left, well, maybe you can do something for yourself. That's not a good that's not a recipe for success, right? That is a recipe for a lot of resentment and a lot of anger over time. Um, and we can get to the point where um, we don't even know what we want. We don't even know who we are. We've lost all of that. So with yoga, we're getting back to that. We're figuring it out. We're going to go back and see what's down there, what's inside. So be alone. Be comfortable with being alone, because you know that you really aren't ever alone. You've got yourself, right? This bigger self that you are connected to. Um, so I know that you know people, and maybe you are one of these people that don't like the quiet. They don't like being alone. Um, they want someone to go with them everywhere they go. They always have music playing or TV playing or something. If you feel like that, if that is you, think about that. Give it a little thought. Why is that for you? What is it? Is it taking up space? Is it just giving you something else to think about? These aren't necessarily bad things, but sitting in silence is also very good. Um, there's nothing to be afraid of. And a lot of times, when I talk to people about this, they tell me they're afraid, right? They're afraid of the quiet. They think there's something bad inside, right? There's some scary thing that they're going to discover about themselves if they listen to the quiet. Um, but the truth is, there really isn't anything to be afraid of. You may have a lot of anger, and you may have a lot of um, resentment and things stored down in there, and you may need to let some of that stuff go. But that's not bad. That's good. Um, and meditation is a great tool for doing this, right? This idea of breathing in, breathing out, letting go of things as you breathe out, um, sending it out, not holding it in. Um, it's a way to, kind of move that stuff out of the body without using it in a destructive way, right? Because that's what happens when we don't move that stuff out of the body. It builds up, and then we blow up, right? So we're angry. We yell at somebody, or we get super mad and lose our temper, inappropriately. And that's been happening a lot. I mean, I've seen a lot of people behaving like that. Um, you don't want to let it get to that point. You want to move this stuff out. So you can cover it up, you can pretend it's not there, but it doesn't go anywhere until you let it go. So find that quiet and use that for a little housekeeping, right? A little internal housekeeping, so that it is a comfortable way to be with yourself. All right. So let's do some yoga, some asana, and then we'll do a little meditation at the end. So as you are moving through yoga, so yoga and physical exercises as well is another great way to move stuff through the body. You can, again, with inhales and exhales, be sort of pushing this idea of releasing, right? Releasing things that are caught up and stuck in the body. Physical activity is great for this. So if you are feeling, right, you discover like this anger or pocket of anger or resentment, physical activity is a great way to let it go. I know I've mentioned this before, but I had a friend who would clean her house when she was mad. She had a very clean house because I think she was mad a lot. But that was her way of, and using that sort of energy in a productive way is just amazing, right? It's it's a it's it's a total win, right? You're getting rid of it, and it's going into something positive, right? Cleaning your house, walking, right? Taking walks, any sort of physical activity, physical movement is a great way, right? Because you're physically um, letting that energy drive you, right? So you're getting the energy to do what it is that you want to do, and you're also releasing it at the same time. So um, it's just, and I can remember when my kids were young, and my dog now, right? My dog will get crazy if she doesn't get a walk. She needs that movement. Same thing with kids, right? They need a physical outlet. And I think as adults, we forget that we have these same needs. It's a function of our human body that we need to move. So let that drive you, let that move you, um, and yeah, do it anytime, right? If you're upset, if you're feeling, like annoyed or irritated or whatever, go take a walk. Go walk around the block. Go do some jumping jacks. I don't know, but it's a good way to let it go in a positive way instead of getting mad and yelling at somebody. So sitting up tall, just relax the shoulders and breathe. And then drop your chin down towards the chest. Then move around, big circle with the head. A couple of times in one direction, and then the other. Back to center, lean forward, move around. One way and the other. Arms wide, take a deep breath, and then exhale, bring hands together. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the hands. We're gazing up. And then bring your arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. Once more. Lifting up. Right hand down by your side. Reach across with the left. Switch. And then back up. Let's lift the shoulders and roll back. Then forward. Left hand on right knee. Right arm behind you. Sitting up tall. Take a deep breath and then twist. Back to center. Switch sides. And back to center. Let's walk the hands out in front. Back up. Bring the hands behind you. Squeeze the shoulders together. Gazing up. And back to your seat. Let's bring soles of the feet together. Sitting up tall, fold forward. Moving back up, both legs out in front. Take a deep breath, arms overhead, and then fold on the exhale. Moving back up, we're going to bend the left leg so it's extending out in front, and then bend the right knee. So you're kind of sitting up like this. We're going to bring the right hand onto the left knee, left arm behind, sit up tall and take a twist. Back to center. And we're going to switch it around. So now the the right leg is out in front, left leg is by your side. And it may be different how you can do this, right? One side may bend a little more than the other. So whatever you need to do, if you need to have the leg out more, or, however it works for you. We'll sit up tall and then take our twist to the right. Back to center. Both legs out in front. Breath in. Exhale, fold. Coming back up, bend the knees again, soles of the feet together. Sit up tall, lean forward. We're bringing this chest and shoulders forward, but not curving the back. Nice and flat spine. Coming back up, both legs out in front again. Breath in and exhale, fold. Coming back up, let's point and flex the feet. And then rotate through the ankles. It's kind of noisy today. And then back the other way. And then we're going to come to tabletop. Sitting back here on the heels. So you might rock a little side to side just to kind of loosen up through the hips. But you don't have to. If you don't like how that feels, that's fine. And then let's bring the fists, stack fists, and we'll rest the forehead. And let's move back up. So we're tabletop to downward dog. And kind of walk it out a little. And then moving forward to high plank. Let's hold here for a breath. And then lower down. Head turns right, arms by your side. Take a few breaths. Head to center. Let's leave the arms by your side. So we'll just flip the palms. And then we're going to lift up head and chest. Lift the arms, lift the legs. Lower down. You can turn the head to the left. Back to center. Let's bring the arms in front. So we're setting up for Sphinx pose. Elbows are right under the shoulders. Hands are resting on the mat. Bring the legs a little wider. Tops of the feet are resting. And then we're going to press down with the hands. Pulling back with the shoulders, gazing forward. So if you aren't, if it feels like a lot, you can be lower with this. You don't have to be all the way up here. But if you do feel, flexible, you could lift up to seal or just stay here. And then let's lower down. We're going to bring the hands in front. So you can rest one palm on top of the other. Set the head down, the chin or the forehead. Find some comfort here to breathe. And if you are resting the chin, let's bring the hands a little further out so that we're resting the forehead. And we're going to try to get kind of as far away, the elbows as far away from the body as we can. If you have very tight shoulders, this may not work too well, but just, Do your best. And then coming back up, we're going to extend the arms, rolling onto one side. Doesn't matter which one, because we're going to do both. So we're going to bend that top knee, the knee of the top leg, and then you can extend, right? So maybe you're going to hold on to the knee, maybe the ankle. If you can get the toe, that's a nice stretch. Breathe. If you're having trouble balancing here, just bend that bottom knee to give you a little wider base, right? And then we're going to bend the knee again, extend, and let's roll onto the other side. Same thing, bending the top leg, finding your flexibility here. And then release it down. We're going to move over onto the mat if you're off, like I am, resting on your back. Take a few breaths. And then we're bringing the left ankle on top of the right knee. I'm sorry, it's the right the right ankle on top of the left knee. Although it doesn't really matter. We're going to do both. So whichever you want to start with. We can bring that leg in. If that's too much, then just leave the left foot on the mat. Press the right knee away from the body. And then we'll set it back down, switch. Either pressing that knee away or bringing that right thigh in. Set the foot back down. Take a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to do regular bridge and then supported bridge. So if you've got your block, you can just kind of set it nearby. We're going to have heels back close to the body, hands by your side, pressing down with the hands and feet. You could interlace the fingers, draw the shoulders underneath. And then lower down. Take a couple of breaths here. And then we're going to lift up, find a place for your block. You can move it around until you find the place that's comfortable for you. It should feel supportive, but not pinchy. If you feel like it's kind of pinching or pressing in the wrong place, a lot of times we're too far up. We're starting to get into the lower back. We really want to be right underneath the pelvis, which can be kind of hard to visualize, but once you're there, you'll tell. Like it'll feel very good. And when you're ready, just lifting up, remove the block, rest back down, soles of the feet together, knees apart. Hands could be by your side, on your belly. You could bring them up over your head. That feels good. And let's bring everything back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. You can rock side to side. And then bring your hands onto your kneecaps. Let's rotate the knees. Moving in one direction, and then let's reverse that.
Arms out to a T or goalpost arms. We're going to start lowering both knees over to the right. Just going as far as you feel comfortable. Back to center, moving to the left. And then back to center. Hands by your side, extend the legs. Take a few breaths. And then when you're ready, you can lower down. You could go both legs together or one at a time, your choice. Moving into Shavasana. Peaceful and calm. So Shavasana is really letting go of the body, right? The body is still. We're just letting go of any movement or any activity in the body. And also trying to let go of any activity in the mind. So as thoughts pop up, we just let them go. Focusing on the breath, on the room, maybe the sensations of this space and time. So yoga is all about this idea that we are one. We are all one. The universe, each of us, every living creature, every thing, right? We are all from the same. We came from the same and we go back to the same. In each of us is that spark of the divine. We all share it, from the highest ruler to the lowliest person, right? Everyone has this. Everything has this. Animals, even plants, right? Everything that is living is part of this picture to a greater or lesser extent, right? We're not always aware of it. Many people aren't aware of this, right? But that does not make them any less worthy or real. We are all part of this. Each of us are worthy of respect. Each are worthy of surviving, of living. Everything wants to just live, from people to little bugs to everything. That's their goal, is to just keep on going. It is our responsibility as yogis to be aware of this. Does that mean that you're never going to kill a mosquito or squish a bug? No. I mean, there are going to be times when that's going to be the right thing to do, but be aware that it is a living creature. Um, are you going to turn vegetarian and never eat meat again? Probably not, but be aware of what that means, to eat meat, to consume that. Um, Yoga is a search for truth. It isn't a set of rules we have to follow. I mean, there are a few rules that we want to follow, the yamas and niyamas, but most of it is left up to you to decide what is important to you. But you've got to know what's true to be able to make those choices. Um, it's very easy to treat people badly, to treat animals and insects and the earth badly when you don't believe that these things have value, when you think you're the only thing that has value. You are incorrect, right? You have an incorrect understanding of what it is here. We want to correct that. We want to really understand what it is, what the world is, and our role in it, our responsibility in it. What you choose to do then is up to you, but you've got to know the truth. So then, beginning to move a bit, fingers and toes, hands and feet. If you want to stretch, you can do that. And then we're making our way up to a seat. Breath in and breath out. Bring hands together. Thank you for taking time this morning to come to your mat and to share yoga with me. I hope you have maybe one of the best Mondays that you can remember having. Namaste. Thank you. I actually woke up this morning. I did not think it was Monday. I don't know what day I thought it was, but it didn't feel like a Monday. It felt like the weekend or something. I don't know. Um, so there you go. Okay, meditation. Hey, don't forget meditation. All right, so while we're in this peaceful state of mind, let's sit on something comfortable, nice and upright with the body. Breathe. Finding that peaceful focus
kind of a soft focus, breathing, being in this present moment. Okay. There you go. 5 minutes of meditation. All right. Well, enjoy your Monday. See if you can have some peace and some quiet time with yourself and enjoy it. And I'll be back tomorrow.